Hi Darkrealmers, horror author Michael J Elliott here with you, and today we're going to be doing another one of our book and movie trivias featuring famous classic works, and today we're looking at Bram Stoker's Dracula. Dracula wasn't the first vampire novel published. Dracula was published in 1897, but before that there was Varney the Vampire by James Malcolm Rymer, who published that in 1847, and then there was Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu in 1871. But it's the name Dracula that has become synonymous with vampires and the vampire genre. Originally, Stoker wanted to call his novel Dead, Undead, and then a few weeks before publication it became The Undead, until it got its final title, Dracula, which we all know today. Bram Stoker spent 7 years researching European folklore into vampire and the undead before he actually wrote Dracula. Originally, Bram Stoker was going to name his character Count Wampire, but after doing his research, he became fascinated with the history of Vlad II of Wallachia, who's better known as Vlad Dracul, which is also another name for Dracula or dragon. Now, even though the book was praised by critics, it wasn't a huge bestseller at the time, and just before his death, Bram Stoker was so poor he had to petition the Royal Literary Fund for a small grant just to help pay his bills. After his death in 1912, his widow Florence sold the book's outline and Bram Stoker's notes at a Sotheby's auction to try and get some cash, and all she managed to sell them for was a measly £2. In 1922, a German film company made an unauthorised movie of Dracula, but because they didn't have the rights, they had to name the new character Count Orlok. Stoker's widow Florence sued the movie company, but because they were bankrupt, she only got her legal fees back, but the court ordered that all copies of the movie be destroyed. Luckily, a few copies still survive, and they are freely available in the public domain for you to watch and enjoy. Now, here's a bit of fun trivia for you. Do you remember the movie Batman Begins? Well, do you remember the villain of that piece, played by Christopher Walken? His character name was Max Schreck, and his plans for Gotham was to build a huge power supply or electricity station, but actually it was going to drain electricity from Gotham City. Okay? Now, the name of the actor who played Nosferatu in the 1922 German silent film that caused so much trouble was actually named Max Schreck. Okay, can you see the connection? What the producers are doing were making a subtle but powerful connection between the two. And just like Walken's character was sucking electricity out of Gotham, Nosferatu, or Max Schreck, was sucking blood from his victim. So, won't you be able to impress all your friends over the dinner table while you're sitting down at dessert with that piece of knowledge? In 1927, there was a hugely successful Broadway adaptation of the novel Dracula, and Bela Lugosi played the main character on stage. Universal Pictures optioned for the rights to use the Broadway adaptation, but they didn't want Bela Lugosi in the main role. They wanted Lon Chaney, but unfortunately he died before production. So they did use Bela Lugosi, and he became famous as the Count. Now, in today's era of CGI and special effects and blood and gore and splatter, it may be hard to believe that audience members actually fainted during the screening of Dracula. And Universal Studios played that publicity up to the hilt, ensuring that the movie was a huge success. In fact, at the Roxy Theatre in New York, they sold 50,000 tickets to the movie. And Dracula went on to earn $700,000, which was a huge sum for 1931. And it ended up being Universal's highest grossing movie for that year. Okay, well, that's about it for this lot of trivia. I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, but before I go, here's one final sad but nice, poignant fact about the great actor Bela Lugosi. Now, there's a big popular misconception around that he actually asked to be buried in his Dracula cape from the movies. Well, that's not true. Actually, his fifth wife and his son asked themselves about that, and they thought that's what he would have wanted. And it was just a nice touch. So there you go. That's everything I've got for you about Dracula, both the book and the movie. I hope you've enjoyed this look through. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you may enjoy more in the series that we've got for you coming up. Now, if you have liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I love hearing your comments, I really do. What movies and books would you like me to do some research on? I'm more than happy with your suggestions. So until next time, remember, Darkrealmers, stay in the light and pleasant dreams.